Right then.
But first, are you experienced?
And now.
I mean, really, this is so obvious. That's the reason we've not done it, really. But it is strange that we've gone this long without doing it. We've done all the others. And this is almost more obvious than most. It's not prog. But, you know, of all those bands, we've done those bands.
You could sort of say it's part of the...
Wallpaper.
Well, no, yeah, of prog, wasn't it? So it's sort of like...
Yeah, the genesis.
If you said prog was sort of like related to the sort of acid, well, not acid, whatever you call it. Psychedelia, that's it. Then you could say this is sort of tangentially related to what we do.
Yeah. It's well, more than anything, it's the guitar-y thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Blah, blah. He changed the world, blah, blah. And he's as big as any other big names, except for the Beatles. He's the big name, big one that we've not done. Invented guitar. All guitar was invented by Jimi Hendrix. There was nothing before. He popularised, he took the thing and made it that thing that we all know. All that stuff. It's Jimi Hendrix, obviously. But he's actually a very particular type of player. He's not like Jeff Beck at all. He's the other end of the spectrum from Jeff Beck. It's very Stratocaster, and he's really a rhythm player. You know, the story goes about how people describe that he's playing. We'll talk about that, but that's, to me, that's what he's doing, really. You know? Yeah, Chaz Chandler said the thing. He said he plays with his thumb. He's playing the bass, and then here with these fingers he's playing the rhythm guitar, and then he's playing the lead up here at the same time.
It's a bit like a 3-part invention, Bach.
Yeah, and I think that there's some truth in that the thumb is doing what the left hand kind of. There is a thing there. So although it sounds, come on, I mean, he's just playing the guitar, isn't he? But now everyone's learnt it. So of course, but yeah, it's amazing, really. And he just did it. He just invented it. He just, from endless practice of having guitar with him at all times. It is from '66. I wonder if it says 67. It does say 67. I think recorded in '66. The Hey Joe single was '66. So it's '66. Ignore that. Lies. It's scratchy in '60s. It does sound like it was recorded then, but I mean, it sounds better than Freak Out, put it that way. Which Freak Out kind of sounds terrible. That's an appealing thing. It's a stylistic 1960s thing. It would be nice if it was clearer in many ways, but it's a familiar, likeable sound, isn't it? I think the recording volume is probably too high. It's him turning his amp up to 11 and recording like that. It's the Sabbath thing again. That's why those albums sound terrible, Obviously, lots of famous songs. We know all the songs, the famous songs. Probably hasn't fully formed his writing thing. A lot of it is still the blues thing. You wouldn't think that because it's got all the famous songs. I've never been a particular fan of Hey Joe. It's one of those things, it's possible that people don't know people now, millennials, don't know that he didn't write it. And obviously there's another song he did where I would imagine people would think that as well.
Was Hey Joe actually on the album?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know actually. It is on this one.
Yeah, I think.
But there's 17 songs, so
I think it only goes to Are You Experienced?
I
think there was an American release and a British release.
Right.
And the American release started with Purple Haze.
Yeah,
they had a completely different set of songs on there, essentially.
Yeah, I had a tape of this. You'll notice this is quite a recent one. There's 6 bonus tracks. So actually, I bet they're all singles, aren't they? Hey Joe and Stone Free's the B-side, and then I bet Purple Haze. Yeah, maybe 51st anniversary is B-side to Purple Haze, and then When Cries Mary was a single, and Highway Child was the B-side to that.
Chile.
But I had Child, as in Voodoo Child. But I had a tape, which is why this is quite a recent one, and the tape was just different. I don't know what it opened with. It wasn't Purple Haze. I bet there's loads of different versions because obviously I think we know his catalogue wasn't looked after originally. There was lots and lots of releases.
Yeah, there's millions of them.
Yeah, so it is tricky. But I think this is because these re-releases were when it was getting sorted out. So I think you're right. I think the album is Foxy Lady to Are You Experienced.
Interesting. Foxy Lady isn't spelt with an E in Foxy?
Yes.
I'm sure I've seen it spelt with an E.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. And Foxy Lady is wrong. But yeah, sometimes it is.
Little old heartbreaker.
Go.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Form an opinion about this band.
It's Jimi Hendrix.
It's all about Jimi Hendrix, isn't
But
it?
when we
Really?
do Queen, it sounds like Queen.
Yeah.
Sounds like Jimi Hendrix. We know what he sounds like.
Good bluesy stuff on there, and good, famous songs on there. I suppose the interesting thing is the history of it, isn't it? It's a sort of fact of it.
It's a milestone of invention.
Yeah, it was sort of like, I suppose it was a big
so
thing.
Massive. It's the big album. It's so big,
and we love it because Jimi Hendrix came over to the UK.
Yeah, exactly.
He had to come over to the UK to make it.
Yeah, they didn't like him there, did they?
We made Jimi Hendrix.
Couldn't even see it. We knew the truth.
I don't know. Was it particularly? I mean, the fact that he was the black man and he was the main creative drive in the band. Was that a special thing at the time?
Yeah,
because obviously you had the soul.
Yeah, but this was a crossover. There was black music and white music, and really he was playing white music. And after he'd done that, the Jimi Hendrix experience, the next thing he was doing was bringing in more black music.
Yeah, but it's a bit more than that, isn't it? It's a bit more than sort of like bringing in across black. I mean, obviously the blues is very strong in there, but I mean, he has sort of changed what people thought that the guitar was supposed to be used for.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, in that case, is a hell of a milestone. Or something like that, anyway.
Yeah.
We have to pay homage to that.
We know all that. We know.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Everyone says
Move on. Jeff Beck was first. He did the wah first. I didn't say that, though.
Okay. But yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
That's all you can say, really. It's a Hendrix album. I mean, the problem is, he only did 3 albums, didn't he?
4. Well, 4.5. But we've done the 4th one, and that was with a different band and it's a different thing.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So because there's not that. If he'd like lived for years and years and years and done hundreds of albums, then this would be quite interesting, delving into the catalogue. But because there isn't that much stuff out there, everyone's heard everything. It's sort of like you pick this up, you put it on. Yeah, I've heard it, and it's not like.
What's that song? Yeah. Oh, it's Purple Haze. I know that song.
Yeah, and it is a collection of songs. It doesn't feel particularly albumy. I think it was sort of recorded quite ad hocly. They were writing. Well, he was writing on the road, and they were performing. They were learning songs in the warm up, basically, as they were getting ready.
Yeah.
So there's no great focus of creativity here.
Yeah, it's not like this is the album.
It's like Jimi Hendrix. You're going to have to write the music, record the music, and do everything on there. Yeah. So you get like this collection of cool, fairly cool songs because he's a fairly cool guy.
Yes.
It's actually pretty boring.
And that's that then. Coronation Street. Do you like the Coronation Street song? And do you know what I mean?
No, I ain't got a bloody clue.
Third Stone from the Sun.
Oh, is it?
I don't think people from the US will know what I'm talking about.
Thank God.
So yeah, there is the longest running soap. Probably is it the longest running soap in the world?
I think it is. Yeah.
Probably even I know what it is, and you've probably named some of the old characters. I would think, oh yeah,
Hilda Ogden.
Yeah, Hilda. Yeah, and Onslow.
Ken Barlow.
And Ken Barlow. Did we talk about Ken Barlow with Lemmy? What's the Lemmy band?
Motorhead.
No, the other one.
Oh, Hawkwind.
Hawkwind. Did we talk about Ken Barlow?
No, why? I don't know. Maybe
he was the head of the Druids or something, and at Stonehenge, and
really,
yeah, and Hawkwind were there, and they were chanting Ken Barlow, Ken Barlow. It's almost like they weren't taking it seriously.
He's a Buddhist now, isn't he?
Is it?
Bill
okay.
Roche, I think. I'm sure.
You sure he's Buddhist and not Druid?
Could be wrong. I thought he was Buddhist. Bankrupt Buddhist. I know he declared himself bankrupt a few years ago.
Yes. So, Jimi Hendrix is famous. Yeah, but I think what it is his best stuff is like the second tier famousness. So with like Led Zeppelin, there's the second tier songs which aren't. It's not quite Stairway to Heaven, is it? But with Hendrix, it's the other way around. So you've got Foxy Lady and Purple Haze and Hey Joe, but the really good stuff is like Third Stone from the Sun, probably Wind Cries Mary. That for me, it's that kind of stuff, and it's very, very melodic, not riffy. He doesn't really play like that. It's almost kind of Indian. He likes the droniness. He likes the rhythm and the rhythmic melody. So he's lots of hammer-ons and pull-offs to do the little blow blow things. He doesn't. It's not like he doesn't play lead. Jimi Hendrix doesn't play lead, but that's not really. I mean, occasionally, obviously, something amazing falls out of his guitar by mistake, but it's much more about that to me than the lead, the solos.
Solos, man.
And we all know what song I'm on about, but it's not on this album. The thumb thing. I googled Hendrix chord because I wanted to see a description of the chord, and it is called the Hendrix chord. People call it the Hendrix chord. I had no idea. But basically, it's a seventhly thing with something on top to get that really sound, which is really cool. He doesn't just play fourths and fifths. It's not Smoke on the Water. He doesn't really do that, and that's the cool stuff. It's weird. You think he's so influential on all of guitar, but only like Joe Satriani or Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's only those people who really do that. Generally, people don't do it. There is a famous picture of him playing with, is it Little Richard? Oh, Curtis Knight. He did record with Curtis Knight. That's not what I mean, though.
Well, he could have played with loads, couldn't he? He was a session player, wasn't he?
Yeah, but there's video.
Oh, is there?
Of him in the background, obviously, because he's playing the guitar upside down left-handed. It's really... Oh my God, There we go. Oh, no, it's... Yeah. Not Little Richard, I don't know where I got that from. Perhaps he did play with Little Richard, I don't know. Buddy and Stacey. Don't even know there. There he is. Isn't that weird? It's not like that's Jimi Hendrix, but he's sort of behaving. He's not doing his thing. He's doing his thing. He's got an upside down guitar and he's got that weird technique.
We'll probably get a copyright strike for this.
I didn't think of that. Sound thing.
YouTube is full of videos of people moaning about YouTube's crap copyright.
Yeah, I'm using this free service. How dare you use it in the way I demand?
No, apparently, the record companies, the labels, do employ people just to troll YouTube to look for content that they can actually raise a copyright strike on. They consider that as part of their income stream now.
I see to get people with the strikes.
Yeah, so basically, if you say you're the content owner, and you put a copyright, I own this copyright strike, I think any revenue from that video is automatically shared,
right?
And I think they get the majority of it,
right? So even when really they can just say, "Oh, this is mine. This is mine.
I'll have this."
Well, do you remember we got a copyright strike on Heroes? We reviewed Heroes, and I think it was picked up by a bot because they held up the album too near to the screen, so it was like we put the picture. I think, but it's possible just the title. Someone just clicked, "Oh yeah, we own that." I wonder if they get money for it. It was the only one ever. That's strange.
That's very strange. The system's just set up so that basically big record labels can just claim whatever they want and YouTube don't care.
Yeah.
So people are complaining about it.
Yeah.
Ruining YouTube.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The free service. There's the cool pic with Little Richard. It's not Little Richard. Perhaps there is one. I don't know. So all the angry Hendrix fans who've come here and not very impressed with our review. But we said it's good. We did. You're going to be angry and say, "Why didn't you like this album?" But we did. We just said it.
We didn't review any of the tracks. Let's go through the tracks.
Okay,
Foxy Lady. That's all right. Manic Depression.
Red House.
Red House.
Wrong ding 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 ding. Is it?
Can
1,
you
4,
see
5.
me?
Can you see me? Come. It's all right. Yeah.
Love or Confusion.
Love or Confusion's pretty cool.
I Don't Live Today.
Good.
May This Be Love.
Can't remember that one.
Fire.
Fire, dun 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 dun. Dun.
Third Stone from the Sun.
Third from the Sun. That's my favourite one on there. It's got to be. That's Coronation Street.
Remember.
It's good.
Are You Experienced?
But first, Are You Experienced? Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So we reviewed the whole album now.
There you go. Yeah, that was a review.
Yeah.
Look, it's Are You Experienced? I mean, what do you want us to say? It's very good. You know what it sounds like already, so yeah, buy it. You should have it.
Yeah.
Spend the money.
Terrible cover.
It looks really fed up on the cover. I like that.
I tell you, we haven't actually talked about the dynamics in the band.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I mean, like these two dudes here, you know, part of the Jimi Hendrix experience. They were basically employed as session players for this, weren't they?
Really, yeah, yeah. And I mean, there was a bit of, I think, well, Mitch Mitchell played the drums and he does his thing, and it's very stylistically his thing. So that's fair enough, isn't it? There was resentment, though, I believe.
Well, they weren't getting any input, were they? Because what's his face?
I can't remember his name. Fat mattress guy. What's his name? This is ridiculous. We haven't prepared for this at all.
Chaz Chandler.
Chaz Chandler. Well, Chaz Chandler discovered him in the US.
Yeah, and so
touring with the Animals, I think.
And he basically funded this, didn't he?
Yeah,
on his own independently. So there was a lot of pressure to get it out.
Yeah, I don't think it was difficult to, because in those days it was the touring. He toured and just completely floored everyone and annoyed Eric Clapton and all the rest of it. Yeah, but I think it's Noel Redding. I think he wrote like one song in the whole of the 3 albums. So Noel Redding was insistent it was a band, even though it's called the Jimi Hendrix Experience. And you know, it's Jimi Hendrix. Shut up. So obviously he never saw it like that. Mitch Mitchell's never done anything for me. I've never been convinced. I don't know why. People say he's a jazz drummer. He's not a jazz drummer.
I think that just means he doesn't keep time very well, doesn't it? Wasn't it?
It's jazz. You made a mistake. No, it's jazz.
I think they were trying to record Hey Joe and they had to throw it away because he just couldn't keep time or something like that.
He's probably smoking a bit of stuff, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, I just don't get like the feel, you know. And Bill Bruford is my favourite drummer. I like that kind of thing. He's a psychedelia drummer, really. I think, you know, that'll get us some angry comments. There you go. He is a jazz drummer. It's all jazz, really. Hendrix plays jazz, really. Yeah, and I think that Hendrix said when Chaz Chandler said, "Look, you need to come to the UK and become famous." And he said, "Well, only if I get to meet Jeff Beck and Clapton, maybe, or Page. I'm not sure, one of those." Because Jeff Beck was already doing that.
Interesting.
But yet, I mean, those two are totally different players. They're not even close. That's the cover. That's the US edition.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a poster of that. Yeah. That's better, isn't it? That's you know, the psychedelic thing.
Yeah, better than this.
That's rubbish, actually. I like that because he looks fed up and they're obviously having to do a photo shoot that none of them want to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's entertaining, but it's actually a bad cover.
So good, they named it twice.
In fact, the other ones released while he was alive have much better covers, thinking about it.
Anyway.
Yes. Yeah, it has to have 4 eggs because it doesn't. Well, of those 3, it's my least favourite. But it's how you experience.
Yeah.
So it's very good.
I agree. 4 eggs.
Yeah.
That was a difficult review.
Look, you've heard it already. You've come here to be angry and tell us why we're wrong. So just do that. It's
Next week, we're going to review the Bible.
in 10 episodes. Episode 1.
Genesis.
And then Peter Gabriel said. All right, cool. See you next week.